A couple of weeks ago I was looking for a new iron or station, soldering station, with the possibilities to renew one of mine 936 systems, and I came across this one, the 8898, on Ali and also on YouTube. And on the videos I got a good impression of course, at least, otherwise I would not have bought it. It was cheap, so I don't expect too much of it, or didn't expect too much of it, but now I got a little review of it, and I used it for a while. After a couple of days I received it, so that was okay. But really I don't think it's that well for the price either, so yeah, okay, at least not the soldering iron system. So first of all, it came with a little tip, what was not the greatest, so I changed it now to another tip with a little bit more form, so maybe it would work better, I thought. At least it did a little bit better than the tip that came with it, with a really thinny tip, for doing some, let's say, more real soldering work on it. But I already noticed that every time when I was doing something with it, like real solder work, the temperature just dropped and then very slowly regained. I got some aluminium here, but you would expect that if you put it on something sustainable, that it would immediately start to try to heat it up, but doesn't seem to do. So let's see. Oh, you can't see it. Get it in vision, yes. So now I expect the light, as you see, for the temperature to start flashing really fast, because, or almost constantly, you expect it to maintain the temperature, but as you see, it's taking the same time, nothing happens, and it is really cooling down now, because this little piece of aluminium is taking the heat. But if you have a track or a trace already on board, I expect it now to be on constantly on high or something like that, but nothing happens. Okay, so when it would be temperature controlled, like it states everywhere, then you would expect now it goes flashing at least when you put it in some water. So here I got a little bit of water, so it will probably damp a little bit at first and then should go heating straight on. You see any changing? Nah, it's just using the mass of the tip, and of course it's putting energy in it, but it's not really reacting to the change in temperature at all. So it's just like 60 watts and it is giving so many pulses a second, and of course that's keeping up a simple temperature somehow, but it's not reacting like a simple 936 unit with a temperature sensor. And when I opened it, I didn't see any special electronic for that either. It's just two wires and the ground going to the handle. It's just clicking on the same point, and you hear it. It is cooling down only, and now I try to put some tin on it, and as you see, it's just doing absolutely nothing until it gets warm again. just by chance. If I put it on my, if I do the same thing with my 936 cheap soldering station, it is really starting to blink, 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 blink if you do the same thing. So this is not that temperature sensitive. As you see, I hang it on the little cupboard, so I had to make a little changes for it to stand up, especially with this handle, so that, because now it's just, it would not fit, so that's the reason I made this change. So now the magnets are on top and it stands like this. That works well. I don't know the exact temperature, I can't measure that, but I expect it's not that temperature sensitive either. I don't know. There's some more wires and electronics going into the blower than in the iron, but yeah, okay. For me it's about the iron and maybe the hot air extra, so it was not the, probably not the right system for me. So I made the cable going out on the back and I hanged it up on the back. So now it hangs there and it can do some hot air for me, so do the, how do you call them, heat shrinks on things like that. Probably working. I don't know if it will work well for other rework work systems, things, I don't know. For the temperature, I know that it's temperature control with only 2 wires somehow in it, with earth, although the plug seems to be more than that. There's 220 volts going straight into it, and the pins are on the outside, and when I measured it, they are live or semi-live if you don't put the plugs in it, so I don't know how well that is safe for you. So always plug it in, keep the plugs in, even if you don't use the iron or the hot air. The hot air seems to work, doing some temperature at least. Heats up really fast. Also the iron seems to be working, heating up fast for the way that it's working. But like I said, it's not temperature sensitive, so it will change at every second if you use something really to solder on. It drops in temperature, so I already have it at 389 and I've been working for little soldering things with it at 400 degrees Celsius, of course, and then it's just hardly doing it, and then it's cooking everything. So nah, not for soldering really, unless you are doing little things and have a steady temperature for it, but I don't recommend that to be using. For the rest, okay, it looks nice, it was cheap. It's using straight mains, there's no 20 volt system in it, so it's very simple inside. Yeah, it works somehow. Hot air, I think it works. It gives up hot air, that's for sure, and it stops when you put it on magnets. There was one fuse, or is a fuse inside, of course now it's on the top. With the extra wires I put in it, which was quite simple to do. It says ESD safe, yeah right, it had an earth connection wire going to it. That's all, of course. So yeah, I don't think it's doing that much for temperatures. Also, I could not get it right on temperature with all the adjustments you get. There's no screw things to do, so it's only electronic. So I have to use it on this, you know them, the soldering controls. And it was a bit cooler than now, and it was about 15 degrees under, so I tried to adjust the temperature and it came to 9 degrees under what it is telling on the screen, so it will be about 380 now coming out of the iron, itself, if I measure it, even with all the maximum adjustments I did already. So it's hyping the temperature a bit much, especially if it goes down all the way. Then when you're using something to solder it on, I don't know where I can use it for. Maybe to start using it for melting plastic or something like that. But I recommend to search further for a real 936 box with a transformer, 24 volts, and really reacting to temperature changes. Well, I tried it again. So it's at 389 on the screen, and this is 366 maximum on the measuring. So it's really much lower now than it should be. And when you put it a little bit on the test, it slows down. So still showing 389. And of course it went down to 60. Now heating up. 218, 240. So that's more than 100 degrees difference. Through 90, 300, getting there slowly. I don't know if you can see the numbers really, but so now it's only about 330 yet. It will get there, but it's just after it cools down, it's not getting hot fast. This is the whole stand. Oh, you don't see the stand. This is the whole stand that comes with the system for the iron. Okay, it doesn't have to be real expensive, but a little more than just a plastic thingy with a piece of iron in it. Okay, then if you want to be cheap, then you get something like that. I mean, this at least gives it some hold or things like that, but plastic with this, I don't know. I don't know if it's even melt-proof plastic. Well, at least it can handle the temperature that is now giving it, but no, not. It starts to melt. About that, I don't know if the cores will be. They're not. So the cores are not safe for touching either. If you can see it, you should just yes, you can see it. So if you have the cores near to the iron, then you have a good risk that you will melt your iron and create some kind of short. So those are not that well either. So I like the other ones better, to be sure.
Voor meer video's over 3D printen en de gerelateerde onderwerpen zoals het slijpen, milling, alle CNC en dergelijke, ga naar www.patreon.com/elvinhaak. En hier zijn meer van mijn video's te vinden dan op YouTube, minder beperkingen en vaak ook maanden eerder ter beschikking voor de wat langere series. Ook zijn hier diverse gerelateerde downloads beschikbaar die bij de video's horen. Je kan ook kijken op Facebook, 3D Printer Beginners Nederland, Nix Reality wel aan het Octoprint, etc. Dat is een aparte pagina. Mijn homepage is www.elfiets.nl/3dprint. YouTube @el3dprint. En als je deze video's interessant en of leuk vindt, klik je op het duimpje en abonneer je of volg om de hoogte gehouden te worden. Je kan altijd nog vragen stellen via de Facebookpagina of dus aan de onderkant van deze video's. Tot de volgende video.